to mangle you green slime balls.
Are we starting this or what?
Yeah.
Hello, welcome to the unnamed podcast because we can't use it anymore because
Yeah.
we just found out that someone else has the one-up cast.
Yes, we're going to change. Contractually obligated to change their name cast.
Yep. So,
I'm Tom. I'm contractually obligated to eat macaroni and cheese this episode.
I'm Bird. I'm going to let you know that Ando and Adam are both here because they're not going to say it. So I'm just going to jump the
Adam's
gun.
here!
Just gave Adam a dirty look.
He stared right into my eyes.
I wanted him to introduce himself first.
My name is...
So I hope
Nope.
you know that you are also contractually obligated to end our episode this week with a fuck, marry, kill. So I hope you brought one with you.
I didn't, but I'll have one prepared by the end of the
You've got an hour, so figure it out, bitch.
Oh, God.
All right, so we're going to start every podcast off with what we're watching, reading, playing. We're gonna rapid fire this because last time it took way too long.
It took the entire episode.
So while Tom eats his mac and cheese, we're gonna start with Bird. Go, Bird. Go.
Okay, so I'm still playing SMT Strange Journey and SMT4 on and off. I haven't played in a few days, but it's still great. Both are still great. I'm playing...
Like, you don't have to talk fast. We just have to get through
well,
it.
Okay, sorry. I got Ys 8 for the Switch.
Yes!
Yeah.
I'm sorry, what?
Ys. That's how you pronounce it. It's Y-S.
I know you can't edit the Wilhelm scream in this one.
Why not?
Thanks for fucking farting in my face.
Adam, it sounded like you dropped a cup upside down.
Yeah.
Well, that burned a little bit.
It
What did I
sounded
eat?
like you punched a duck in the face. I've been playing
Adults.
Ys 8, and I'm like on chapter 4.
Is he saying words?
Yeah, I'm saying words. Shut up. It's pretty great. I
He's saying
like
weast.
that a lot. Which
Hey, baby, do you want some Adam West penis?
I'm a real big fan of Falcom games and how they do characters and stories because I've played a couple other RPGs and it's really great. I'm also playing, and I told Tom about this, it's called The Infectious Madness of Dr. Decker. And I'll explain this as quickly as I can. It's basically a FMV game where you play as a like a therapist, and you have to ask questions to your patient that you can either get questions from the game or you can like literally type in questions and ask them stuff. And Dr. Decker was the guy who was the therapist for you, and he was killed. So you have to figure out his murder and also help the patients out who all have weird things going on, and there might be a weird like Cthulhian undertone to it. And it's weird and it's great, and all of the characters are really interesting, and I love it. And I'm like on chapter 3 of that, and yeah, it's great. I also started watching Shin-Chan again.
Fuck yeah, you did.
Because fucking, to be a man, you must have honor and a penis. And I also watched the new Tom Segura stand-up on Netflix. And I'm not always a huge fan of him, but his new stand-up was really great. So that's what's going on with me.
Ando?
Oh, me now?
Sure.
All right.
Oh, me next?
Me now.
Oh.
Me next. I'm next. Still, as from the last podcast, still have yet to play any more of Persona 3.
Nice. Continue the
don't-
trend.
I don't know if I'm gonna give up on that game or continue. I just don't know. I don't know if I can get.
Ando? You don't know.
don't know.
I've dropped it like 2 or 3 times now, so I don't blame you.
I'm playing Pokemon Black instead at the moment.
Okay.
I've been playing that and replaying no, not Ocarina, Majora's Mask on the 3DS.
Oh, nice.
So that's what I've been playing lately. Other than that, I picked up Godzilla again just to feel like Godzilla and destroy shit for a bit, just to kill time. Watching anything new in particular. I'm behind. started watching Better Call Saul, the new season. Just watched the first episode of it because we're behind on that. And after watching the season premiere of the new season, I'm really mad that I never watched Breaking Bad.
Why is
Because
that?
I really like Better Call Saul. And I hear that Breaking Bad is just as good, if not better. Mm-hmm. So, like, I just never got into it because it was like that. It was like that Tom thing, like where everything's cool, everyone won't shut up about how cool this thing is. So I'm going to go against everyone and not watch it, kind of deal. I want to be the edgelord, not pay attention to the popular thing.
I like how you think that I intentionally don't, because I need this in my life.
I know. No, I just never got into it because I was just like I think when it came out, I just wasn't really into shows like that. But now that Better Call Saul's on, I've been watching that with the new season. I'm just like, I want to watch that now,
Right.
because I'm like into this kind of. I'm into these characters. I like this world, but
Like shows like that people get hyped about, at least for me anyway, like I have to make the commitment. Like it's not just like, oh, I'm going to watch this on season 2, episode 10 because it's on. Like now I have to make the commitment to go back and watch everything else to get caught up.
Yeah.
Or ignore it until it's done and then I'll watch it all later.
That's what I'm hoping will happen for me. Like
Right.
because Better Call Saul is a prequel to Breaking Bad.
Right.
So it's like, I don't know how many seasons this show's going to have. So now I got to wait till Better Call Saul's over to finally watch Breaking Bad.
Right. And you'll get to watch it in the order that
wasn't intended at first.
wasn't intended at first.
Yeah. I mean, that's it. I haven't really watched much of anything else. I have still yet to watch Disenchanted. I heard that's really good. The new Matt Groening show.
I've heard from a couple of reviews and stuff that the first couple of episodes start out kind of slow, but it gets pretty good.
Yeah. I've yet to watch that. I plan on it soon, so if anyone has any comments on that one, let me know. But that's it. I haven't really done a whole lot of new video games or shows or anything really recently, so that's it for me at the moment. Let me know if I should continue with Persona 3. I don't know if I want to.
Where are you at?
Fuck, I don't even know.
Okay.
It's been so long since I played it.
It's been so long since I played it.
I think it was summer break. I got Aegis, the robot girl. I got her. I'm not long after that. So midway through the game, I would believe.
Yeah, that's about where I left off the last time I played too. I was playing the PSP one because I was playing as the female character for the PSP remake. Which they finally showed footage of Persona Q2, and you're going to be able to play as the female protagonist from that.
I wish I cared for that series, the Q games, because it just didn't look like it was any good. To me, anyway. I just didn't like the dungeon.
Yeah,
the whole thing.
it's a lot like. I might go back and play it because it's a lot like Strange Journey, where it's basically a dungeon crawler RPG. But the thing with Q is that I don't know if you could do it for that game. But Strange Journey has a map that just automatically fills as you go through it. With Q, you had to use the bottom screen to make your own map.
Yeah, I didn't like that.
And
I didn't like that idea.
I didn't care for that either. If there's an auto map system in that, I would love it. But I don't know.
Adam.
Yeah. All right. Make short and sweet. Last time we talked about, I was playing Dark Souls 3, beat that. Now I'm on to Bloodborne. And at the end of the game, just playing through the DLC, and I don't want to beat the game until I beat the DLC.
Where are you at in the DLC?
I just beat Ludwig.
Ooh.
So that was a good time. And then I leveled up because I realized I didn't have enough Arcane to use his weapon, so fuck me. So I had to do that.
Now you fucking with the big boys now!
Yep. So I got that, and that's where I'm at.
Moonlight Greatsword, bitch!
And just started New Game Plus on God of War because that was just patched, and I can't wait to do it. I had to beat the Valkyrie a second time. I was just telling the guys.
because you didn't
What
save.
was the patch?
We didn't save.
We were laughing our ass off.
They add a New Game Plus to it.
Oh, that's
so that
what
you
the
can,
patch is New Game Plus?
Is New Game Plus. Apparently, it's a good time. Makes you feel like you're playing a different game, which I'm excited because I love it. But
Yeah, I heard enemies have even new attacks and stuff.
Yep.
So it's like legit pretty different.
They apparently put some work into it, and you can upgrade even further past to where you are currently. Like
upgrade your boy better.
Yep, and you can craft him armor now, which I guess you couldn't. You can only get you can only buy a few things, but now there's more shit you can do.
But you gotta go to work.
Yep,
work,
that's it.
work,
That's all I got.
Work. Oh, is it my turn?
Yeah, go for it.
Hi, I'm Tom. I just finished my macaroni and cheese. It was delightful.
Good job, Tom. Good job.
Since the last podcast, I had mentioned that I had started Mario but hadn't played very much of it. And within the last week and a half, I'm pretty much almost the entire way through the game, or the quote-unquote standard game.
The actual plot, the story.
Like I'm at the moon, I'm about to fight Bowser and whatever, and so I did all of that in a span of 2 weeks. It's a fun game. I mentioned this to Adam, and we were talking about it just before we started. I like the game, but my OCD and my willingness to have fun clash a lot in that game because I want to collect all the moons, but I also don't have the patience to sit around and find all the fucking stupid ones. So then I get pissed and I quit playing. And then once I stopped doing that, it was fine, and I got to the end. But I like it.
I think it's the way it is with a lot of us.
I think I like the gameplay. I like all the new features. I love Cappy. It's all fun. I don't know. I'm not against the areas being bigger. I think my only complaint is the desert level.
Yeah, it's big.
It's unnecessarily big.
I like the theme of it. I like the characters.
I did too. And that's one thing that I think that game really does well, is that all of the characters in each level are different and interesting. And yeah, some of them do the same things as other things in other levels, but they're still new and different. And I like that a lot about that game.
The only worlds I hated in that were the snow one and then the water one. The water one was really short.
The beach one or the lakeside one?
The water, the lakeside one.
I think it's the lakeside
I fucking loved that level.
It's too short.
It was really short.
I liked that it was compact.
Yeah.
It felt like a level in Mario 64, not a world.
I think that's why I liked it.
Yeah.
Because some of the areas feel too big.
Like
New Donk City seems like it's big, but it's not really. But yeah, I like it. I had a lot of fun. I haven't played Yakuza since before the last time we did the podcast. It's been a while. But I have maybe a chapter or two left in that game. I'm about to fight Nishiki, so I don't have very much left. Becky and I watched a documentary called Cropsy, which is about
I know this.
It's
oh god, I forgot about this thing.
It takes place in Staten Island, New York, and it's a guy who was working at this mental health facility. That's not what they called them then, but that's what I'm calling it now. But Geraldo Rivera went there in the 70s.
Yeah.
And it was a fucking debacle. There was just kids shitting all over themselves, and it was a fucking mess.
It was literally American Horror Story Asylum.
Yeah, basically. But long story short, there was a guy that was working there, and they link him to these crimes of kidnapping these kids. And then it's a whole thing, and they go through the trial, and it was decent. It was better than The Staircase, which was 14 episodes of nothing to get to a conclusion that you already saw coming. At least Cropsy had the decency to be an hour and a half.
Okay, so speaking of documentaries, did you hear about the new season that's coming out of American Vandal?
No,
I never finished the first season of American Vandal.
New season of American Vandal. Someone poisons the school's lemonade, and everyone has diarrhea.
Oh my god, that's amazing!
Is it the same town?
I don't know.
Oh,
I just know the plot is that someone poisons
fantastic.
the school's lemonade, and everyone has diarrhea.
That's fucking hilarious.
Oh my god!
Good. We also started watching Making a Murderer, which I like, but I don't like it in the same way that I like those other crime stories, because it's abundantly clear during Making a Murderer that this dude is just getting fucking set up around every corner. At least that's how they make it appear.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't live in that town, so I don't know this shit.
Yeah.
But the documentary does a very good job of painting him in a very good light, other than a couple of things.
Right.
And
Yeah.
and they're
yeah,
really
everything I like I told you, I think everything I heard about it was like it's made to make you mad at how fucked over this guy gets.
right. But it's good. But I don't like it in the same way I like the other ones, so we might be watching that one at a slower pace. But that's really it. I haven't been playing too many things. I've been playing Mario mostly, and then Becky and I have been watching some of those crime dramas and some other stuff. I haven't picked up a new audiobook, which I usually am wont to do. But I think Adam and I were talking about this maybe a little bit the last time in the podcast, but I am full into writing songs mode. I have like 2.5 songs left, and then I'm done with the music for the new Rise From Your Grave record. So I'm like full swing into that. So a lot of the stuff that I would normally be doing is really on the back burner right now.
The album's on Spotify, right?
The first one is, yeah.
All right.
So is all of Adam's stuff, by the way.
I keep forgetting to put a couple songs on my playlist for the gym.
I don't know about you guys, but I am like full on fucking ready for Boogin Month shenanigans.
Yeah.
Yes,
In terms
corner.
of making videos.
Yeah, we gotta come up with good Boogie Month videos.
So I'm gonna put this out there because this will also air before. This will air before we start airing Boogin Month videos on YouTube, and of course, you Patreon guys will get this like a week after we record it. But if you have suggestions for Boogin Month games, please send them to us. We have ideas, but if there's specific stuff that you guys want to see, let us know. Because we have tons of ideas of stuff that we want to do. There's every survival horror game that has ever existed that I have yet to play. So we haven't played any of the original 3 Resident Evils or Silent Hill 3 or 1. Or we did 1 the first year, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But
Right.
there are plenty of horror games to play, and without suggestions, we're just going to play what we want, and maybe we'll do some surprise garbage bottom of the barrel episodes for
Like Jersey Devil.
Yeah, for some real shit games for Boogin Month. Because bottom of the barrel reminds me that shit games are hilarious.
Yeah. I got some good artwork ideas for the.
Yeah, I'm excited.
yeah.
That's my favorite part. Is
I love seeing them.
when Ando and I gear up for stuff for
I like the
Boogin
movie
Month.
posters last year.
I already
where
got
all
like a text like, "Hey, can you do some Boogin Month artwork already?" And I'm like,
We got to get this
okay.
shit because I
Okay.
need to bust out my pad so I can color in some Ando artwork.
I was waiting until I came back from vacation to do that. But like I was like you texted me like probably like not long before I left, and I was like, when I get back, I am just gonna start drawing some shit.
It's gonna get real wacky, but I'm looking forward to it. So yeah,
Speaking of vacation,
tell us about your trip.
As anyone that knows that when they watched the last 2 bottom of the barrel videos, I wasn't in them because I was away.
Well,
We're dating the episode, Tom.
I was gonna say the people on YouTube will know that, but since this is probably gonna come out before either of those episodes come out,
Well, those are the only ones that are like really. I mean, unless you guys did anything else, but it was
that was pretty much it.
Yeah, I was away. We went, me and Arlie and her parents went to Seattle because a friend of hers, her brother was getting married, and that was like on like a Friday. But like we went there for the whole week to just dick around in Seattle until the wedding. So we had time to just fuck off in Seattle. And for anyone that actually is listening to this that is from Seattle, I apologize. But your city sucks. No, it only sucks in the way that you guys don't get rain. That when we were there, it hasn't rained in 3 months.
Oh my God.
And it's because of the wildfires in California
Right.
that brought all the smoke up to Seattle and just made everything a Turok 2 hit skybox. It was terrible.
God damn it.
You could not see like past, like as soon as if you were looking out at the water, you couldn't see the other side.
Jesus Christ.
Like you couldn't see like the
So it was
other.
just fucking Silent Hill.
Yeah, well, it wasn't that bad, but it was bad. So it sucked because of that. Like in the smoke and like it was just hazy. By like Friday, you could just really fucking smell it. It was bad.
Right.
Huh.
People were walking around with like masks and shit. But as far as Seattle goes, it was a fun time. We got to do a bunch of shit. We went to the Space Needle, which was awesome, but again, not a great view. And if you do go to Seattle, and if you do go to the Space Needle, I would advise going during the day. They do this bullshit thing where they have to light up the tower because you have to see it at night so planes don't crash into it. You know, that old chestnut.
I like how pissed off you sound as you're saying
it sucks
this.
because it's like you go up and you want to see, like when you're up there, you can see out the glass windows to see the whole skyline and everything. But they also have, it's also a rotating platform. So you're like, it's like spinning while you're in there. So you could get like a whole 360 view without walking around.
Right.
But the platform you're on is glass too, so you can look down and see like the ground like a couple thousand feet below you.
No fucking bueno.
If you're going during the day, that's fine because you can see out ahead of you and you can see below you. But because it's lit up at night, you can see out ahead of you kind of because of the reflection of the light and all that.
Right.
But the glass floor is lit. It's fucking lit, bro. And so because
shit, Dab.
Yeet. Because the glass floor is lit, you can't see out of it.
Oh my God.
Because it's like the light, the
Right.
lighting from the glass
Right.
from the below you. So it's like go during the day.
I can't imagine a scenario where Mike Ando could have said yeet any more like anyone's dad.
I know, right?
My whole life.
Also, we went to the Funko Pop museum, Funko Pop headquarters, which is fucking great if you're into that shit.
Yeah.
Which I fucking am.
Yep.
And if you're into that, and if you're going there for it, we found a good lesson is to go a half hour early because there's a line around the building.
Huh.
Jesus.
Yeah, there was a line. There was a line like out the door and like around the corner. The one picture I took that had the giant Huckleberry Hound, it was like all the way past that.
Oh Jesus.
So that was like, and the Huckleberry Hound's on the corner, so it was like around the corner and back. But like once the doors open, the line moved really fast. But if you're looking to go and get some exclusive pop figures, go on a Wednesday.
Okay.
I didn't know this. We went on a Tuesday, and the guy was like, because they give you like a flyer that says like, oh hey, exclusives are this much, and I'm like, what are your exclusives? Like, we don't have any really. I mean, we have whatever's on the counter. Because it was Tuesday, like by then, the weekend, and everyone was already there. But the only ones they had for exclusives were like the Diggum Frog and a Guillermo del Taco figure. And I'm like, I don't really want that. I like Del Taco, but I don't want a figure of him.
Free Shivakadu.
Yeah. So, I mean, I got a bunch of pop figures because I had just spent a shitload of money on pop figures there. Pinball Museum is a thing. Although I was kind of disappointed because it was called a pinball museum, and I was expecting like a big giant room. It's about as big as this basement.
Ooh.
Oh.
Like this, your basement, and then another basement on top of it because it's 2 floors. But like there's barely any room.
Jesus.
And I'm not trying to knock it or anything. It was still a lot of fucking fun.
Right.
Because it was like 15 to play all day.
Right.
But like it was small. It was kind of small.
Just to give everybody an idea, this basement isn't probably any bigger than, I don't know, 20 feet by 20 feet.
Yeah.
So just to give you an idea of where we're at.
I mean, again, it was cool.
400 square feet of pinball action.
Yeah. Other than that, we went to like the Museum of Pop Culture, which has a really awesome fucking Marvel display. Because I posted a picture, mainly for Bird because it had Stiltman in it.
Fucking Stiltman!
They posted like this random fucking page of a Daredevil comic, and it had Stiltman in it for some reason.
Of course, what was it? Did it even say why it was there?
No, it didn't.
Just some guys like me is like, fucking Stiltman ain't right.
They would just post like a cover of a comic, and then maybe like 2 or 3 random pages of it, and then that was it. Like at least they did the death of Elektra, where they showed like Bullseye killing her.
Cool.
That's cool.
Were they original? Like,
Oh yeah, there was all original shit.
So that's probably
original.
why they only had weird.
Maybe that's what they had. Yeah. And the bartender, we were just talking about this. The bartender in the Wolfgang Pucks at the Museum of Pop Culture is an actor, and he was in the new season of Twin Peaks.
Really?
He was a deputy in the new season of Twin Peaks.
Jesus.
Because like I'm in the Marvel exhibit, and Arlie was down at the bar with her parents. They went down to get a drink, and I was still in the Marvel exhibit, and she texted me and she goes, "Hey, there's a guy that was in Twin Peaks that's serving us drinks." I'm like, "Who is it?" And then she like told me, she's like, "I don't know. He played a deputy," and I'm like, "That doesn't help."
Yeah,
in a
there's
show
lot
where
of
like
deputies.
90% of the people
You
are
walk in and
are
it's
cops.
just David Lynch with his stupid haircut serving drinks.
Yeah. And I went down and I talked to him about Twin Peaks for like a half hour, and he was like, "Yeah, I was in the new season." He's like, "What did you think of it?" I was like, "I don't know what I thought of it." He's like, "Right?" He's like, "What was episode 8 about?" I'm like, "I don't fucking know." Because episode 8 is the one where it's just all just imagery. Like it's like
okay.
there's just like bullshit happening. There's like an atom bomb that goes off.
It's
Yeah,
almost,
you told me about that.
it's almost like the David Lynch is bad.
He was like, "I don't understand it." He's like, "The only thing I got out of that show is that Dougie Cooper is the best character ever." And I'm like, "Yeah, that's probably right."
Dougie Cooper? I forgot about that.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, for the most part, the place we stayed in was called Belltown, which was literally a mix of...
A town made out of bells?
Yes.
Ah.
The Bong is the mayor from Marvel Comics.
Dr. Bong.
Dr. Bong, that's right.
Dr. Bong, come on. Get your dumb villains right.
It was kind of hipstery, but it was kind of like a mix of like Lawrenceville and Southside in
I
Pittsburgh.
mean, it's no Portland, Oregon. Am I right, people from Portland?
hey!
Hey, I don't know what you're talking about. Fucking Lawrenceville is like pretty much the capital of hipsters right now.
Well, yeah.
It's getting up there.
It was like hipstery, but they had a lot of like great shitty dive bars that I liked.
God, I love that.
Like
I love a
on the
good
street
dive
we were
bar.
at, there was at least like 3 or 4 dive bars. That Shorty's place, I'm just going to recommend dive bars now. This is just all I'm going to say right now. Shorty's, it's a fucking bar made to look like Coney Island. There's like clowns.
Wow.
There's clowns and like carnival shit all over the walls. That place was great. The Rabbit Hole, which was like this like kind of like shitty dive bar, but kind of trying to be classy kind of thing, where there was just rabbits all over the wall, like drawings of rabbits all over the walls, and they had skee ball, which was cool. Mm-hmm. Arlie had a drink called the Jessica Rabbit, which was like this like cherry like vodka-y mixed drink, which was really good. There was 5 Points Bar, which was like Jack's in the South
Oh,
Side.
Jesus, so it was a shithole.
It was a shithole, but it was like the best shithole I've ever been.
Yeah,
Because it was, that bar was listed as like a historical spot because it was there before Prohibition. That's how fucking old that bar is. And that's actually closer to the Space Needle than where we were staying, but that's a bar to go to. I can't think, there was another one I can't think of now. Neon Boots, which is clearly a gay bar by the name, but it was
So you went in.
It was a really cool divey shit bar too. But like Belltown is where you want to go for like all the shitty hole in the wall dive bars that are like actually really
A
fucking
hole
awesome.
in the wall.
Yeah.
Show me that hole in the wall.
Nope.
Yeah, I mean that's it. We went to Pink Gorilla.
Oh yeah.
Is a really cool store. Like they sell like old import games. and like Japanese like harder to find games. They had a Super Nintendo exercise bike.
What?
When I saw that picture go up, I was like, "What the fuck is this?"
There was a Super Nintendo exercise game, and they made an exercise bike specifically for that game, and it was $700.
Nah.
Yeah.
It's just like a Power Glove, though.
It's all was. It was a hyped up Power Glove.
Yeah. One of the co-owners for that store
Is on the
He's
podcast,
on the Metal
yeah.
Jesus channel, and
Yeah.
like I've seen her in a bunch of stuff.
So that's a cool place to check out. Another one is Scarecrow Video. This is like the oldest video rental store I've ever seen in my life.
Nice.
It was fucking huge. Like I went in there to buy movies, and like I'm like looking through it and it says like 2-day rental, and I go to the girl and I'm like, "What? Do you even sell movies?" She's like, "Yeah, it's like that section over there." And it was like this tiny like 5x5 foot section where they actually sell movies.
Oh my God.
But like a giant like fucking mansion of like rentals.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Was it like all DVDs or was
DVDs
it
and VHS?
Really?
They had VHS.
How is that place
Wow.
still open?
Like everything that like all
It's
the
fucking
rentals.
Seattle. Like I'm sure there's fucking people renting old VHS tapes to watch, like fucking Red Letter Media does with Best of the Worst, where it's just like, let's watch shitty movies and see if they're hilarious.
Yeah.
Right.
So they
I'd
had
love to do that shit.
Yeah, they had like all this like old shit, and they said like everything goes to keeping this place open.
Huh.
Like they just want to keep it open. Like that's a place to check out is like Scarecrow Video and Pink Gorilla. What I got at Pink Gorilla was some awesome movies. I got the Japanese House movie,
Howsu.
which we're gonna have to watch at some point.
I know how weird that is.
I am
wanna
not.
watch it.
I read about this movie because I didn't know anything about it. That was apparently almost directly written by a 10-year-old girl.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure it was also part of the inspiration for Sweet Home. The
I was
video
gonna
game.
say, when are we? Well, you know, Sweet Home's a movie, right?
Sweet Home's an actual
Oh,
movie.
okay, yeah.
I was gonna say we need to get fucking Sweet Home and fucking watch that shit.
Sweet Home is like basically what started Resident Evil.
Yeah.
But I got House. I'm refusing to watch that until all of us are around
Yeah,
to watch it because
absolutely.
I'm not fucking watching this movie by myself. I got Creep Show,
Nice.
Good
And-
call.
Good.
Also good call.
a double pack of Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla 2, and fucking Godzilla vs. Space Godzilla.
Goddamn right.
They had a double pack of Godzilla SOS and Godzilla Final Wars, but it was a fucking rental, and I was upset about that. But I'm like,
I have Final Wars if you want to watch it.
I know, but I was like, fuck it, I'll get fucking Godzilla Mechagodzilla 2 and fucking Space Godzilla.
That sweet fight where Godzilla fights the Matthew Broderick Godzilla while fucking Sum 41 plays.
Is that really what fucking happens in
Oh yeah, I'll
Final
show
Wars?
it to you after we're done.
Oh boy.
Oh man.
All right, I have a topic. If you guys are done.
There's
yeah,
one
no.
one more thing I wanted to talk. The
Can I finish?
best part you didn't talk about in the Pop Culture Museum was the dead cat from Pet
Oh yeah,
Cemetery.
yeah. There was a.
I was
yeah.
super excited about that.
Again,
There was-
that's one of those ones that's like, who is that for?
For me.
Like fucking 15
For fucking
people.
me.
15 people like that movie.
There's
They
a
had
lot- that's
fucking
a cult
Jeepers
classic.
Creepers in there.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
There was a lot of
They
of
had
stuff.
fucking Newt.
Yeah. All right.
All right, I'm diverting the subject.
Okay, go.
That's fine.
Okay, ready?
Yes.
I'm going to start. I'm going to bring it off, and I want everyone's opinion on this.
Uh-huh.
I know everyone's opinion.
I was hoping my fart was going to be louder.
Nope.
Sorry.
All
I was
right.
hoping it was going to be audible.
Uh-huh.
Clean audio on that fart.
Now, let me-
Audiblefart.com. Sorry.
I know everybody's here's thoughts about the subject, but I kind of want to discuss about it.
So what you're trying to do is you're trying to mitigate the yelling right now.
Yes.
I can see that in your face.
Yep.
Go ahead. I'm not going to look you in the eyes. I feel like I'll get less mad.
Because it comes from what Ando was saying, and it sparked my thought process. Physical media.
Oh, Jesus
How much
Christ,
longer-
Here we fucking go.
Oh, Christ.
How much longer do you think physical media is going to be around for?
As long
Go.
as people keep buying it, which is can much longer than you think.
Now, a lot of people just buy stuff that's been around, like you were looking for that movie. or a movie that was being rented out.
Oh yeah.
All right, so there's going to be a secondhand market for this stuff. People are going to be collectors buying these things. At what point do movie studios and game companies and record labels start saying, fuck this is too expensive to produce, it's cheaper to just put it online and people consume it that way? I give it 15 years. And
it's gonna be a while. I say
a
at
long
least.
Like how Adam's
I think CD players
because because I yelled at him.
No, this is even what I'm doing.
About
this is even what I'm saying. I like how Adam is doing his I'm gonna be NPR and just hold the mic and then
he holds it away from
He holds
it away from his face so he can breathe in. He's Tay-Zondaying it right now.
It was just I just looked out like in the corner of my eye. He's like the way he's sitting and has his mic.
Microphone works, and I don't want everyone to hear me breathe like an asshole.
Yeah, it's not like me on every gameplay we've ever done.
That's what gates are for, Bird. That's what gates are for.
15? I don't know.
I think 15 years is too short.
I say 15 years for the CD to go away.
For the CD, yes.
Yes.
Okay, I was thinking about this about CDs the other day. While I was away, there was like a record store, and I was thinking about this. It's weird that I don't even consider buying CDs anymore.
Right.
I would rather download like stuff.
Right.
But I will go out of my way to buy like a new fucking record or just anything on record.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Yeah.
Records are older than CDs, and I'll fucking buy a record over a CD.
I've bought 2 cassette tapes recently, and I haven't bought a fucking CD, and I couldn't tell you how long.
Yeah.
I'm going to be real honest, and this is going to sound... It is what it is. Out of the 4 of us, I have to be more in touch with physical media because that's what I do for a living.
Right.
And I can tell you from experience that I still dole out DVDs, not Blu-rays, DVDs, and people still don't ask for Blu-rays.
Right.
So
I mean, not everyone has a Blu-ray
has
player.
a Blu-ray.
Exactly.
Not
we
everyone
haven't
has
we haven't reached VHS levels where everyone has them yet.
Yeah.
Despite the fact that they are easily accessible now.
Yeah.
Right.
Not everybody has a Blu-ray player.
It wasn't like when they first came out and they were like
Right.
$800
Because
or
it's
whatever.
not like DVDs where you couldn't play a VHS in a DVD player. With Blu-ray players, you can still play DVDs.
Right.
So until they start making it where if you buy a Blu-ray player, you can't play DVDs in them, which they're not gonna do.
Right.
Then it's gonna be a while. It's gonna be till they make a DVD player, a new type of DVD or some other type of media where you're not gonna be able to play CDs and DVD players, and it's gonna take until that is the standard where people are not going to buy the Blu-rays, and I don't think it's ever going to be that you're not going to be able, like, that people are either not going to
physical media
buy DVDs or even just go to straight up streaming or download.
I think
Plus, DVDs are cheaper than Blu-rays.
Well, yeah, but like
that.
physical media itself, now whether it's Blu-ray or DVD or whatever, physical media itself is never going away.
Right.
It's never going away.
Because not everyone in the country or in any country
Sure.
is ever going to have, not everyone's going to have the download capability for something like streaming all the time or something like...
To download a 64 fucking gigabyte game on PlayStation.
Even it's something like us in suburban Pittsburgh have decent internet speeds. If you go somewhere that's like rural, Midwest, or even, foreign countries, like, anywhere, where there's like, I'm trying to think, like
underdeveloped countries,
like Russia or
rural
something.
areas.
I'm sure their internet,
their internet is, I guess, isn't the best.
isn't great. But you get these countries that don't have the internet structure that we have in the United States. So, like, you're getting a lot less of that stuff because of stuff like Netflix and Spotify and stuff like that. But you're still going to have the people in XYZ town in the Midwest that are going to have to go to Target and buy a CD because they can't get Wi-Fi in their house. they can't get that kind of stuff, so they can stream the songs that they want to listen to.
Right. And I think part of the thing where I'm saying physical media is never going to go away is for that reason.
Right.
Is because not like you bought Mario, right? Did you get the digital version?
Yes.
You got a digital version?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I don't have a digital version. Ando, do you have a digital version?
Yeah. Oh no, I have the physical version.
Bird, do you have it?
I don't have it.
Okay. So
But I own a lot of Switch games. So
my point there is that's not a DVD. That's not a CD.
No.
That's not a Blu-ray.
No.
It's like a SD
That's still
card.
physical media.
It's still physical.
So, in my opinion, like I bought years ago, this was a couple years back, I think 2 years ago when we did Dingle All the Way, and I meticulously made all of the characters in WWE with all the face scans and everything.
Right.
That game was like 60 gigs.
Right.
So, or however much it was ridiculous.
Yeah.
It was giant.
that Dr. Decker game for a Switch game is like 9.5 gigs, which is a lot for something on the Switch.
Sure.
Because it's got a lot of, FMV in it.
Sure. But like, I think the point I'm trying to make is that why would we compromise a state of it can be on this thing and all I have to do is put it into this thing without taking up more space on the thing I already have.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't think that aspect of either gaming or media itself is going to go anywhere.
Right.
The medium might change, but I don't think the aspect of buying the thing to put it into the thing will make a difference. We might be getting USB sticks. I mean, that might be, I'm going to go to Target. I'm going to go get the new fucking Assassin's Creed. Oh, it's on a memory stick. It's on, I mean, just like Nintendo did. It's on an SD card.
Now,
it's
games
on this.
fall under a different category in my head for this whole, where I think the world is going. I think CDs are going to drop off first. Then I think it's going to be movies. Only because, one, primary listening place of most people now is in your car. Most cars aren't being manufactured with CD players. Gone. It's iPod, now it's your phone. You can stream it to your car, whatever. You're walking, doing whatever.
Uh-huh.
All right, so CDs are gone. Movies are going away because of Netflix, stuff like that. Downloading. You're seeing more sales of physical streaming boxes of Rokus and Apple TVs and Google's Chromecasts rather than DVDs and Blu-rays being sold. Now,
Sure.
those will last a little bit longer.
But I think devices like that are specifically designed to have the space to take movies and things like that.
Right, well, they're pure streaming. So this
Right,
also
here-
comes to the fact that if what Bird was saying with internet, now I'm saying in 15 years, now if you look 15 years back, you're looking at dial-up speeds and people just starting to get DSL. In 15 years' time, you're looking at more infrastructure being brought across the United States and
Sure.
other countries. So
Sure.
in 15 years' time, it could be a completely different landscape. You're probably going to see most of it be coming from people's phones, and it's just going to be satellite cellular-based rather than physical hard lines over. That's just probably the next stage of it.
Sure.
Or if net neutrality goes the way of fucking being dead, it could end up like in other countries where you don't have internet that just works for everything.
Right.
You've got to pay to use your Facebook. You've got to pay to use a streaming site like Netflix. And they sell you on packages on stuff that you use, and not just, I use the internet and I use my Wi-Fi or whatever, and I can use that for my PlayStation, for my phone,
Right.
for anything. Well, now you have to buy a $10 plan for video games. You got to buy another $10 plan for streaming music. You got to do another one for
Sure.
Netflix or something.
Sure.
And then it becomes even less available. The other thing I'd like to say is, I would like to say about this real quick, is I get the preservation aspect of having physical media. And Ando and these guys make fun of me for buying games that I've already bought physically, or I've already bought digitally, and I buy them again. But a lot of that stuff is stuff I really like, and
Well,
that kind of
sure.
thing. I like to collect that kind of stuff if I can. Now, like there's a game that's coming out, like Hollow Knight is coming out physically. They just announced, I wish I would have waited for that, but Ando's going to wait for that, so that's good. I might buy it eventually, and I get the preservation aspect of that, but you also have older systems and, older PCs and stuff that are hard to get running, that are breaking down, and you also have emulator sites that are trying to have these ROMs so that they're online and they're there, and you can still play them. But sites like these are getting taken down, and I get it. They're not exactly legal, but a lot of those are meant to preserve, to keep those games alive, because the cartridges and stuff.
I think part of the thing with emulators is that they're not necessarily. That's a stance that they take.
Yeah, I get it,
but I don't necessarily know that
Nintendo takes an overly aggressive stance on that. I think emulation has its place, and I don't think all of it is okay. But I think, if there's a game and there's no way to buy it, there's no way that that's hurting anything.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
If you like these arcade games, where are you gonna? You can't download the Simpsons arcade game on Xbox Live anymore.
Right.
Where are you gonna play that?
Well, even more obscure shit like Metamorphic Force,
how are you gonna play that?
We never would have got an opportunity to play that ever.
Right.
If we hadn't been able to play it.
There are so many games that I wouldn't, and a lot of these companies are doing stuff like the NES Mini, and Neo Geo is doing one, and they're putting out all these collections, and that's fine. I will go out and buy those.
But they're not putting out everything.
What's that?
They're not putting out everything.
Right.
They just like the Sega Classics collection, they're they put out what everyone knows, but not what everyone really wants. There was
no Echo the Dolphin on there. No. None of the Echo games.
There wasn't no fucking Haunting starring Poltergeist.
Right. There's no third party stuff. You can't. These old games that EA or stuff would publish, there's no way you're gonna get EA to give a shit about a fucking 20-year-old game about a fucking scary ghost person fucking possessing shit in a house.
Right. I think to bring it back in for a second.
No problem.
with the whole physical media thing, I think people are always going to need a way to make things more convenient and to take up less space. Like on my computer, I don't want to download a bunch of movies that are going to take up a bunch of space on my computer because they take up space.
Right.
I don't have all 80 games that I have on Steam downloaded at one time.
Yeah.
Right.
So there's just not enough space for that. And I think that's going to be the problem with whether or not we lose physical media or not.
And there's the point I was going to get to was that games are the last one to probably lose physical media.
Right.
Only because you're looking at it right now, 50 gigabyte games, and then some PC games, you get with the patches and everything, it's 100 gigabytes. It's insane.
Yeah.
That just right now in this time period, that's a lot compared to what the size of hard drives are versus what the size of the games are.
Right.
So what's in the pie in the sky world, and I know a lot of all these game companies, and Sony's a big one of this right now, trying to make everything streaming. When they're doing their PlayStation Now thing, which is apparently dog shit, and it's not that great. I tried it out once; it wasn't that great.
Right.
But I think what will happen as soon as that infrastructure gets high enough because remember back in the day when you used to have dial-up and it took you an hour and a half to download a song, whereas now everything's streamed. It's not sitting on your computer; it's being just streamed off the internet.
Right.
You could save it, but now movies have done that. I think games, in due time, because games are 5 to 10 times bigger than a movie.
Right.
You'll see more of the PlayStation Now kind of thing where they're going to offer, here's the game, you could stream it, you buy this package like Netflix, you'll be able to play these games, and you'll see, I think, more of those, because at the end of the day, we're all going to become a little less reliant on physical things if it's just at a click of a button right there.
Sure.
Now, I romanticize, so I'm going back to on the devil's advocate on this, I romanticize having physical media because it's something you hold in your hand. It's something people have lost from albums and CDs. You know, the booklet, you're opening it up and reading it. Like there's a connection to that you can't get digitally. I don't look at my Steam library and get like these good, warm, nostalgic feelings from it.
What the fuck is this, Adam? You made fun of me for buying Mega Man Soccer, and you're like, you could just fucking download that game.
Every time we talk about buying an old game,
Adam's
like,
the first
they
one.
make ROMs on the internet. You can just
Adam's the first one.
give you shit.
Raspberry Pi.
Put it on my Raspberry Pi. Smear it all over my genitals.
Yeah, you want to get made fun of, just go on some retro gaming site on fucking Facebook or something.
Talk about retro.
And talk about Raspberry Pi. Then they'll start talking about fucking.
But I get it, Adam. I know what you mean.
Yeah. And unfortunately, that's where it's going to head to. But there will always be people like you guys who are the collectors. You're going to find a way to physically have that in your hands because you associate it with that. And that's.
I think
I
agree with you. I think we'll get there. I think it's going to take longer than you think.
Yeah.
Oh no,
especially
for games,
especially for games, it's going to take much longer.
Yep.
Because you figure, and like you said, a game might be 100 gigs.
That's today.
And that's
10 years from now. That's
so we have.
Look at the backlash Xbox got when they tried to like block off their console where you had to have it always online, and like if you put a game in, then it didn't work on somebody else's console. Yeah. Like, well, what the fuck good is it then? If you lose that account or you lose that Xbox dies, then that game is fucked. It's basically a downloadable game anyway.
That's how it is. I mean, I don't know if it was ever fixed, but like months ago, when I wasn't connected to the internet, and I tried to play Fusion Frenzy on my Xbox One, where I have the disc. The game is backwards compatible. You have to download.
That was when we were Deep Creek.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wasn't connected to the internet. I still cannot play the game. It would say, you need to own this game in order to play it. It would not recognize the disc. I needed to be online for it to be like, oh, I remember you installed this. Go ahead.
I think that's a backwards compatibility thing.
That's still bullshit.
You're right. You're right.
That's still
You're
fucked.
right. It's bullshit. But at the very least, like, those are backwards compatible games. It's not the console they were made for.
And I'm glad that Microsoft is doing something.
I'm not saying it's not bullshit, but I bet you if you put in an Xbox One game that you already had downloaded, it probably wouldn't be a problem.
Yeah.
I think because of the sizes of these modern games, I think it's going to be a lot longer before we see an ability to reasonably stream video games in a way that makes sense. Because like if Steam goes down today, like if Valve shuts their doors and Steam doesn't exist anymore, I'm out like 80 games.
Yeah, I'm out a shitload more than that.
Right.
Well, that scenario, like you fear that you're like, oh shit, I'd lose everything. But that's the same fear of like my house burning down and losing all my physical shit.
But here's the other thing.
Or having
what
a flood.
about games?
Ando.
What about games for Windows Live?
Oh God!
What about
that? Was a fire.
What about all of those games?
Yeah.
You can't play those games anymore.
No.
You can't play. You couldn't play the first Dark Souls for a while.
Yeah.
Until they remastered it.
Yeah.
You can't play.
Well, no, they did a Steam version.
Oh, that's right. You couldn't do. I think the first Dead Rising.
Yeah, the first Dead Rising was one of them.
Yeah.
But like that's the kind of thing
There's a lot.
that at least in my brain anyway, people like Bird and Ando and myself are wary of is the fact that if we're going to spend all this money on games that we're going to play and we're going to keep, we want to be able to keep them.
Right.
So like if the PS4, when the PS4 goes offline in whatever 15 years or whatever, like when they finally shut down the servers for when they stopped making the last PS2 games, since there was no real servers for PS2 stuff. Yeah. But like when that's finally like when they do that, that's it.
Right.
So now there are only and you can still get a PS2, by the way. They're still available.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they don't make them anymore.
Right.
They made the last PS2 game like in 2014.
It was like
13 or 14.
Was it 13 or 14?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a FIFA game. which is fucking weird to think about.
But like, if you want to play a PS2 game, you have to play it on a PS2.
Right.
Or you have to emulate it. Those are your only options.
Or if you have one of those like older PS3s that played PS1, 2, and 3.
And which a lot of those don't even work anymore.
No.
Right.
Yeah.
Mine burnt out long ago.
Yeah. But like, and that kind of takes the subject back into like what Bird was saying is like, yeah, I mean, we're eventually going to move into that territory, but at what point do I still own something? Right?
Right.
So if I go on Netflix and I watch Stranger Things, I don't own that.
No.
So it's not like I can just like, oh shit, I want to watch the first season of Stranger Things again. And like 10 years from now, maybe it's not on there. Maybe there's a licensing issue. Maybe
Yeah.
it's not on there anymore.
Maybe Netflix is gone.
That's
Maybe
like that's like the PlayStation Plus thing. It's like, oh, I get all these games for free. You really don't though, because you're paying a monthly subscription to keep that game on your hard drive to be able to be played.
Right.
Right.
Because you can't play it without it.
Right.
And now once they announced that they were getting rid of PS Plus games for Vita and PS3, now if you look, all your PS Plus games have a time limit. From that date on, or whenever you download that game or put it in your library, you have a year until you can't play that game anymore, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, I didn't know
On
that.
PS3?
On PS4.
Yeah.
So that's
I don't know what the deal is for the PS Vita or PS3 games.
I think most of the PS Plus games that I ever downloaded for free were like garbage games that I don't care about.
Yeah, I mean a lot of it.
They were like, it was
I-
like, oh, it's free, so I'll fucking download
When I
it.
said I started playing Bloodborne, I put that in my library months ago when it was free on PS Plus, and I was like, "Fuck! I could just download this and start playing it."
right.
Yeah.
If I find a cheap version, I might buy a version of it.
Right.
To have it. I mean, I'm not going to spend more than maybe $20 for it at
That's
this point. But
at this point.
That's more than that's more than
but,
you'll actually
but
pay
you know
for
what
it.
I mean? Like games like, okay, so Bastion is a game that came out for the Xbox 360 that I played back on the Xbox 360. I still have that. I could download that and play on the 360, but Limited Run just put that out.
Right.
That was a really good game. It was a download-only game for years.
Right.
And it's still open for pre-order. I'm probably going to fucking buy that before the pre-order ends. Because I don't know if that game's going to be around.
Right.
And all three of those games that Supergiant Games have made are all fucking fantastic.
Right.
And if you're telling me that I can pay $30, I could pay more for a game I already own to make sure that I still own it,
Right.
then fine. I mean, if it's a game that I care about enough, I will pay the extra money to physically own it.
I think the biggest cautionary tale of not owning the thing
PT?
or not exactly not having the thing in your hand and never being able to do anything about it again is PT.
Yeah.
If you didn't have PT on your PlayStation 4, guess what? You don't have PT ever.
I still do. We could play it.
Yeah,
I got it.
Yeah, and I know you guys have it, but like my point is that
That's a big one.
I think there's a big fear of if I don't have the thing, I don't have a thing.
right.
And I think that's going to be a problem for people moving forward.
And
I don't think that's going to stop a change from happening, but I think it's going to be
It's going to slow that down.
you're gonna find
Big.
like, the reliability and trust in these companies to do that. It's about picking and wisely choosing the right one. Like for example, with the whole internet, or when music was being downloaded, iTunes was the first one to say, "Hey, you can buy this. You technically own this. Here you go." So I mean, they're still around, but like with the Microsoft Zune store and stuff like that. Well, those, as they become defunct, get passed to another company, and so you still kind of own them. That license is being transferred to someone else.
That's in a good case, though.
In a good case, right? I don't know if any
Yeah.
big services that when you pay for something individually, like iTunes, or I guess iTunes is one of the best examples of it. If you buy a movie, or if you buy Steam is another one. Like, I don't foresee Valve lose. I mean, they're the main company that lets you download games on the internet.
The reason they're never going to make Half-Life 3 is because they're making so much money with Steam.
Right.
Or just any new Valve game.
Right.
In general.
So those
they're making that fucking dumb card game.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Never get Left 4 Dead 3.
Nope.
They're almost too big to fall. So, but you have to kind of trust in the fact that if something did happen to them, someone is going to pick up that torch.
I trust them enough, but I don't trust any company implicitly. I don't trust them 100%.
No, you can't. You shouldn't.
Just like I thought that the backlash of them trying to get rid of net neutrality was that was going to backfire on them, and it fucking didn't. That shit went through. So I just don't trust anyone implicitly not to fuck me over as a consumer.
I think, and I agree with you, Adam. I think there are, like with iTunes and Steam and stuff like that. Yeah, like you can reasonably imagine that those guys will be around for a while, because right now they're the only ones in the game, and they're pulling in money hand over fist.
Right.
So of course they're going to have the infrastructure to take care of all that.
Right.
But, and it's just like everything else we've been talking about. In 10 years, maybe, I don't know, maybe GOG comes up with a system that's better than Steam, and it's better for creators, and it's better for people to sell their stuff, and better for people to buy stuff.
Right.
And now everybody's going to GOG. Okay, well, I've got like 4 games that I bought from GOG.
Right.
So what happened to my Steam games? Yeah. So Valve goes under.
Sure.
What happened to my Steam games? Are they like, okay, our competition that put us out of business, these games, give all of these customers that we had, give them all of these games.
Right. It might
lose millions of dollars.
There are about 30 or 40 games that if you have them on Steam and you link your GOG and your Steam libraries, you have them for free on GOG.
Sure.
Yeah.
And
maybe that'll be a thing if fucking Valve were to go under, hypothetically.
Those are just the kinds of things that
run through your head, because
you got to think about when you're talking about this stuff. So that's why when you and I were talking about it the other day, I was like, no, it's not fucking happening.
Yeah.
Because A, that's how I am,
right.
and B, because I'm not necessarily terrified that I'll lose the stuff, that I'll lose my thing. You know what I mean? But it's a real concern for people.
Sure. It's because you physically can't see it.
Right.
It makes it more difficult to understand how it exists in your life.
Right.
Yeah. No, I totally get the fear. But that's something I'm like, it could happen. I think it's going to happen someday.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
we're going to see that.
The difference between when we had VHS tapes and DVDs is like that was a huge bridge to cross.
Right.
Yeah.
That was a change in medium, and people fearful of like, I think
change.
it was an easier acceptance when you're like, oh shit, DVDs look this good and they don't fuck up after a couple years.
Right. Yeah, I think there's always going to be...
I don't have tracking on DVDs?
Yeah.
God.
There's always a change that's going to be made.
Yeah.
So, whether we lose physical media or not, I don't think we're going to. I think it's going to be something different, something more convenient, but still something you own.
Yeah.
Or there could be the possible of iTunes, for example. They have a streaming music service. You don't own any of those. You just pay a monthly fee to access them.
Right.
And then you have iTunes, which still is alive, where I pay 99 cents, $1.29, whatever it is, for a song. I own that.
Right.
It becomes a physical download that I can save and put somewhere, and it doesn't matter where I put it. I own that.
So yeah, I think that's kind of the dynamic that we're gonna see in the future.
Yeah. Right.
Also,
I'm sorry, there's not enough time.
One of the best quotes I saw about this whole debate we're talking about was someone was complaining about how, ROM sites were illegal or something, and someone's response on Twitter was like, motherfucker, I literally bought the Scott Pilgrim game when it came out day one, and I can't play it anymore.
Right.
Like, it's bullshit.
Yeah.
So that's the fear.
Yeah. And it's totally real. Like, it's, again, like if I wanted to play fucking PT 12 o'clock tonight, I can't. Right. So, and I think that's, that's kind of the
I mean, I could leave my PS4 here if you
Yeah,
want.
but you get what I'm saying. Fucking pain in my ass.
Pain in my ass.
All right, Ando.
Oh.
So the real question.
Well, what did you have something?
No,
Okay.
I'm sitting
Well,
eagerly waiting
yeah.
as he checks his watch,
No.
stalling.
Got a text.
Stalling.
You know,
But first, I mean, we're overlooking.
first things first, man.
We're
Fucking with the worst.
We're overlooking something that we're all just totally just not going to even overlook. I mean, even going to mention it. But this podcast was dedicated to our one and true meme lord and savior and villain number one, Stefan Carl Stefansson as Robbie Rotten.
Rest in peace, Robbie Rotten.
Rest in peace, Robbie Rotten.
I'm fucking meme lord.
I'm saluting right now.
You are our number.
I salute
You
you.
are number one villain.
You're the best.
But besides that, I'm really throwing together this this question, and after last one, people are going to think I'm a fucking furry or something on this one. Fuck, marry, or kill. Scooby Doo. Scooby Dumb. Scooby Dee.